This is a continuation from the last show. We were talking about the various options, the various platforms available to entrepreneurs to get online. And I think now more than ever, we have more choices than we really need. And it can be a little confusing. Nez, you and I have talked about this. You know, when you are thinking about moving your business online and you've got webcams, blogs, and video and audio and all these things coming at you, how do you figure out where to start? Nez? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Digital Entrepreneur Show. This is the show where we talk about how you can take advantage of all things digital to start, run, and grow your very own business, be it online or off. I am Tim Knox. I guess I'm driving the little bus today. My passengers are Professor Nez and Steve GAMLIN. Nez, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tim? Good to see you. It's been a long time.
You know what? It seems like we were just here. GAMLIN, how are you, sir?
Oh, no. Doing great. How you guys doing? Good to be here.
Every now and then Steve just freezes up on me. You notice that? Hey, this is a continuation from the last show. We were talking about the various options, the various platforms available to entrepreneurs to get online. And I think now more than ever, we have more choices than we really need. And it can be a little confusing. Nez, you and I have talked about this. You know, when you are thinking about moving your business online and you've got webcams, blogs, and video and audio and all these things coming at you, how do you figure out where to start? Nez?
Yeah, so this is something that I think a lot of entrepreneurs and just business people in general, they really struggle with. And I think you need to really decide, investigate, research what it is that you offer. Okay, what are you offering a fitness program? Are you doing coaching? Are you selling digital products? Are you selling physical products? Are you selling your expertise? Are you monetizing your expertise? What kind of, is it service? Is it goods? Is it products? You need to really, really identify that first. Mm-hmm. And then you need to research your audience. Where are they going to consume? And when I say consume, there's a little process there. You got to engage, you got to build trust, you got to build authority, which we talked about in the last show with blogging, in various formats and various myriad, manifestations of that. But also, once you find out where your customers are, you need to go all in. I think you need to focus. So are they on Pinterest? Are they on Amazon mostly? Are they not really, doing a lot of YouTubing and social media? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Facebook? Once you find out and identify who you are, what you offer, where your audience lies, I think focus is the next thing that you need to really target that audience and go all the way in.
Yeah, I really like that. It's almost like you should develop a plan.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? I think one of the things, one of the things that entrepreneurs need to remember is when you are starting your online endeavors, it really is just like opening another annex of your business.
Yeah.
If you were going to start a second location across town, you wouldn't just dive in and jump in and throw in a bunch of money. You would develop a plan on how to do that. And I think, Nez, your point is part of that plan is figuring out how to reach your customers and how to deliver to those customers, and then follow that plan, because not everybody needs to jump into YouTube or jump into podcasting or become a Kindle author. On the last show, we talked about it may just be that you need a simple website or you need a simple blog. So, Steve, talk about that a little bit, the importance of planning out this sort of thing before you even take the first step.
I think the most important thing in piggybacking on that is knowing where your client base and your target market already is. Mm-hmm. And so many people start off saying, well, I know everybody's over here doing this, but I'm going to be different. I'm going to go over here. It's kind of like the people that go fishing and they don't watch where all the fish are being caught, but they just try to go somewhere else.
Right.
And there's no fish. And they waste all the energy, they waste the gas in the boat, they waste all the bait, and they waste all their time trying to go somewhere. Now, it's not just go in and jump in where everybody else is, but let the world know what sets you apart. Let the world know how you solve the pain of these people that might be different from somebody else. So you've got to be part of it, but you have to have a plan. Otherwise, you get all these experts telling you have to be everywhere. You have to write a book. You have to be on Facebook. You have to be on YouTube. You have to be on LinkedIn. You have to be everywhere. you're going to exhaust yourself and you're going to get frustrated. And you might even actually grow to hate what you do for a living. When all of a sudden you're trying to be everything to everybody and you don't have a plan. You are going to exhaust yourself. And when you wake up thinking what you are doing for a living really, really sucks, you're not going to want to do it that much longer.
Yeah.
And you're going to be cheating your audience if you're not doing it 100%.
I love what you said there, Tim. And here's another thing too is, if I may, sorry guys, just really quickly.
Go ahead.
It's funny because you may also, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to do, and don't be afraid to change. I had a friend who I actually had on my Facebook Live show who, started off doing coaching for her dog training and her dog training services. And then later came to find out that more people were asking her, how did you set up your business? How did you set up this system of, gaining leads, gaining traffic, and having this online business, this entrepreneurial endeavor? And then she shifted, or the popular word is pivot, right? She pivoted into business coaching services.
Yeah.
So here's somebody who thought, well, I'm going all in on animal training and canine training, but now I'm finding most of my money, right, Tim? Money is coming from people asking me about business advice and business coaching. So she became a business coach and she's crushing it. Don't be afraid. It might change. It might evolve, because this happens all the time. So I love what Steve said, have a plan, but also don't be afraid of that plan changing. Adapt, and you will win.
There's an old saying, if people are throwing money at you, figure out a way to catch it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly
that.
what.
Never heard that.
Yeah. Well, I just made it up.
I'm going to name drop. Jim Knox just said something brilliant.
Such an impresario.
I refuse to name drop. I quote everyone anonymously. But you make a really good point there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Joe Polish. Joe, who is now one of the premier marketing minds on the planet, who has a 5-figure mastermind group and sells out annual events. Joe started, I believe, as a carpet cleaner. And he came up with innovative, clever ways to market his carpet cleaning business. And then people started wanting him to teach them how he did it. And now you can take his theories and put them to practice in any business. And Joe is a multi-millionaire because of that. So being flexible, I think, is one of the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur, and being willing to pivot. Not being so married to a direction that you're not afraid to turn and go this way. But, and that's one thing to follow up on what Steve said is, the fishing analogy, I love that. You need to go fish in a pond that's crowded with fish, not with fishermen. So, you figure out who your customers are, where they are, what bait you use to catch them. And just because you see everybody else going this direction in their boats does not mean you need to go in that direction. So let's look at this from the point of view of, let's say, a heating and air conditioning guy. I've got a company, I've got 15, 20 employees, been in business for a long time. Things are going well. I have a website. How can I augment that website? I understand I can do videos, I can do blogging, I can do this sort of thing. What would be the best way to approach that? Steve, is it simply follow what we've been talking about, develop that plan and serve the customer? Because you're serving that customer information as much as you are the service, right, Steve?
Yeah, I think so. And actually, this is the perfect analogy, because I've got friends who are entrepreneurs in heating, electrical, plumbing, et cetera. And this is the exact advice I've given them over the years. Have a simple website, have a Facebook or social media presence, and shoot before and after pictures of everything you do, and show the world how you made the pain go away. One picture of a before with a broken furnace, with water all over a basement, and after with nice, neat wiring and plumbing and a happy client giving you a thumbs up. That's all you need to tell the world. Yeah, what you are doing to make a difference, how you appear in this, what you say to the world about what you do, and stop going online and saying we have great customer service, because that is the biggest pile of crap in the world. Show the world, and everybody says we have great customer service. Yeah. Show the world what you do and how you do it. And that's going to set you apart from the other people in your industry, because there are assumptions people make about every industry, and the trades are no different. Yeah. Show the world you're different. Show how you make a difference in the lives of your customers. You're going to get more customers.
Yeah. The one thing that you say there is, and this is what I always tell everyone, the internet is a visual medium.
Yep.
Okay. You primarily, unless you have a disability, you're primarily going to surf the internet using your eyes first, your ears second. So if you can figure out a way to have a visual representation of your business, I love the before and afters. Really quickly, my oldest daughter flips houses. She's just a brilliant realtor. She does design, and she started. Nez, you're going to love this. She started doing live videos. She would walk through the before and afters, and then she would videotape it. She was contacted a couple of weeks ago by a production company wanting her to put together a sizzle reel, maybe for a show on like an HGTV or something.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So I've got
I truly believe all the next superstars of television, radio, I think they're all going to come from the internet. They're all going to come from the digital universe.
Yeah.
And if I may just throw in my 2 cents about the air conditioning and heating, because just thank you for the beautiful lead in there, Tim. I would
it's
tell
a great
that dude,
question, and thank you for asking it.
Yes, it was a great question, and thank you for asking. I have the answer. I don't know why I turned German, but I did.
It is the muscle from Brussels.
Yeah, the muscle from Brussels. I show you how to drench bicep in wet. Anyway, okay, I lost that.
was that guy from Brussels, by the way?
He was actually from Kansas.
he just. If
you're watching, love ya. Checks in the mail. No, but here's what I would tell the air conditioning, especially if it's a local small business. You go live on Periscope, you go live on Facebook, you go live on YouTube. You offer some type of value. You answer questions, do a live Q&A. You do it behind the scenes. This is what our business is all about. This is what we do. This is where we get our agents, our plumbers, our where we get our trucks, where we get our information, our research. This is headquarters, what have you. And then you offer a special if you're watching this Facebook Live, if you're watching this Periscope. And don't forget to turn location on, which is key, because they can watch it on the replay. Eyeballs are monetizable. Eyeballs are monetizable. Don't forget this. So as Steve and Tim pointed out so emphatically, everybody's eyes are on that screen. Eyeballs are on the screens, whatever screen it is, right? We're not going to get moral here or what's happening to society. Facts are facts. Let's make some money on those eyeballs. So if you're an air-conditioned dude, you should go live and offer a special coupon only if you watch this Facebook Live with a special code that you insert in that live video. Get personal with your customers. Get personal. Get one-on-one. Get intimate. Find out what they need. As Steve said so beautifully, find out what they want. What kind of problems are they having with their recent services, their plumbing, their electrical, whatever it is.
Think about this also, guys. You may be thinking that, okay, my business does not lend itself to video or audio. If you go to,
I find that hard to believe.
I do, because it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Every business can do something. For example, I have a friend in the air conditioning business as well, and
this is the AC show.
It is. It's the AC show. It's so nice and cool in here. But he was a technology guy, and he basically built his business on videos that teach you how to do things or show you how to change the air filters in your home, how to insulate your home. He basically would teach, but then they would call him to do the work. If you go right now over to YouTube and do a search on how to fix my Whirlpool dryer model 517, guess what, guys? I know this from experience because I did this. There's going to be a video telling you how to troubleshoot the problem, how to read the computer codes. It'll even have a link in the description below how to order the part. It's just brilliant.
That's awesome.
Brilliant. And so regardless of what your business is, there is something that you can do to visualize that business and get it online so your customer can see it. And we're going to talk a little bit.
I have a perfect story about how a business used video, but I mean, I don't want to mess up the format, but it's a great story about.
Well, fortunately for you, there is no format. So. Go ahead and tell the story.
We do have a plan.
I love formatlessness.
We have a plan, but the format went to hell.
The plan.
So, Go ahead, Ness.
No, but I mean, this guy owned a bicycle repair shop. Okay, it was a local business. This relates to what Tim was talking about. These companies that say, I don't need video. I don't need YouTube. I don't need any of that junk. This guy, his talk about really augmenting his customer service game. He used Snapchat instead of people who bought his custom-made bikes. These are bicycles. They had problems with their bikes. This wasn't working. The tire did this. The gear did this. Instead of sending emails or phone calls or, complaining and asking for refunds, in that sort of non-intimate sort of interface and customer service experience, he would say, can you please create a snap, right? Showing me exactly what's wrong with it. I'll create a snap, like 10, 15 snaps or 10-second snaps of how you can fix it. And that 10x'd, 100x'd not only his customer service, but they were so pleased, so happy, so impressed that he used state-of-the-art technology. He used the latest social media platforms and social media communications. And that, referral, his business grew exponentially.
Well, Steve made a comment a few minutes ago about customer service. Yeah. That is such a great example of how to use digital, i.e. video, to provide that customer service. He's giving them information. He's showing them what to do, and yet they still call him for this service. I think it's just such a great way to start that customer service ball rolling, because we all know this. Customer service occurs before, during, and after the sale. It doesn't just, if you don't provide good customer service going in or going out, they are not going to come back. So again, regardless of what your business is, think of ways that you can augment it with visuals. Again, be it video, audio, what have you. One thing I want to talk about on this show, guys, because last week we talked about websites and web builders and blogs and that sort of thing. Really quickly, I want to talk a little bit about e-commerce. Yes. Because it is such a, it's the way that a lot of businesses bring in the money. Now, granted, not every business is going to have an e-commerce site, although nowadays everybody and their mother's selling T-shirts, regardless of, But, for example, like let's go back to the air conditioning guy.
Here's
example.
Mine.
There you go. There's some merch, that sign back there. Yeah. But let's think about
I'll get a level, don't worry.
If I'm an entrepreneur and let's say I want to let people book appointments and pay online. The pizza model is, I love going online, clicking, I want pepperoni, I want mushrooms, I want double cheese, I'm going to click, I'm going to pay, I'm going to eat. So, you have to give your customers that opportunity, because nothing will drive me away faster than going to a website to buy something and realize that I can't buy it online. I have to call a freaking 800 number and buy it over the phone. Yeah. I just go somewhere else. So talk about, really quickly, Steve, let's start with you. Talk about the importance of e-commerce systems, the importance of letting your customer give you money when they're ready to online. Steve?
I think having that as part of your website, your social media presence, whatever it is, like you said, not giving people an excuse to go somewhere else. Because if you put too many steps in front of them, people are busy. If you put too many steps in front of them, they are going to go somewhere else who makes it easier for them to get whatever it is that they're looking for. Right. So you may as well keep it as part of your website, your social media presence. I actually keep it very, very simple. I work with PayPal for all of my online stuff, all the websites, embeddable, little shopping carts and this and that. And when I'm out and about, when I'm speaking at live events and selling copies of my book, I've got my Square that I plug into my iPad, zip, put a credit card through that. Yeah. So there are many, many systems out there. I just tend to keep it very, very simple. And I'm surviving right now with PayPal and Square.
You really don't have a reason to do anything else.
I have a PayPal business account. My invoices are so simple. It's amazing. And this is something, and this is something that honestly, I am not a technical dude. I'm not a technical software dude. It's so easy. It's so automated. You can set up templates. It literally just says, services rendered for consulting or what have you. It's got the tax. It's got the yada, yada, yada. It's got my logo on the invoice. It's so simple. It's so simple. I use PayPal. That's really all I use. Now I'm thinking about going into Stripe. We could talk about this on a whole other show, but Stripe, and there's other sort of services and softwares where you can really expand and even accept traveler's checks and God knows what else. But I love what you said, Steve, is just keep it simple when you're starting out. Keep it simple and watch what happens. When you grow, things will naturally evolve, and you'll be forced. Necessity is the mother of invention. You'll be forced to look into different avenues and different streams and different products and services and software.
I thought Frank Zappa was the mother of invention.
Oh yeah, he was.
Watch out for that yellow snow down there. Well, okay, so let's kind of recap.
I know that.
Yeah,
no.
Let's kind of recap now on where we are so far. Okay, first steps, and again, we talked a little bit about this on the last show. Develop a plan. Figure out what you need before you dive in and spend a bunch of money and waste a lot of time. Start off with a very simple website. Maybe augment that with a blog. And, nowadays WordPress makes it so easy to create a website or a blog or a combination using the very same tool. And we can do another whole show on that. But get your website up and then decide, okay, do I want to sell online? Do I want to allow people to not just do e-commerce, but to book appointments online?
Yes,
to do inquiries online. Yes, you want to sell online.
Yes, you want to sell online. It's the best thing in the world, folks.
Right. So if I do, I will need either a very simple shopping cart, a very simple payment system. PayPal is very easy to use. I sign up for an account. I drop in the code. I connect it to my bank account, and I'm good to go on e-commerce, right, Steve?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like you said, as things grow and as needs arise, if something's got to be different, there's a product out there for you. But don't try to build a Cadillac when all you need is a Hyundai to get started.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like Hyundai.
Nice, Steve.
my first new car was a Hyundai.
Tell you what, I owned a Yugo.
Are you saying my
once.
Ford Tempo GL's no good? Oh.
You know what? I had a Ford.
That was my
Tempo.
first car. Ford Tempo GL.
Yep. So I think the moral to this story really is to take your time, to develop a plan, and more than anything, get to know your customer and what their needs and expectations are, and then jump in. So we've talked a little bit about websites. We've talked about blogs. We've talked about e-commerce. We've touched on video and audio, which I think we can do entire shows on those. We can do an entire show on social media. The one thing, we've got about 9 minutes, believe it or not, guys, left on this show. I want to talk a little bit about kind of what we're doing here, and using the power of live meetings, webinars, that sort of thing to become, to add to your digital entrepreneur toolbox, if you will, because I'm in Alabama, Nez is in California, Steve is in New Hampshire, and here we are all talking at the same time on this lovely computer system, and we're doing it for almost nothing. And to me, this is a great way, guys, to stay in touch with your customer, to stay in touch with experts in your field, that sort of thing. So, Nez, you kick this one off. How can our average entrepreneur, maybe our AC guy, use teleconferencing, and you could do another example, can use teleconferencing or webinars to communicate with their customer, to create content, and to build revenue?
Yeah, so I mean, the ability to do video conferencing now, and again, I'm not a tech dude at all. Okay, I'm not sure how techie Tim and Steve are either. Very, yeah. So, I mean, there's Zoom, there's other types of video, any kind of Adobe Connect. There's all sorts of video conferencing tools. Video. I tell all my clients, it's all about video. Webinars are fantastic, which are basically like sort of infomercial / educational presentations, slide presentations. You don't necessarily have to be in front of it. I think, and we can do a whole show on camera confidence and sort of how do you gain confidence in front of a camera. But I think understanding that everybody's got one of these things, okay? Everybody's got one of these things, everybody and their mama, right? And that one of the most burgeoning ways to communicate, the most popular ways to communicate is through video interface. Right. This is something that Joe the plumber, Bill the AC guy, Susan the whatever.
Let's make her a nurse.
A nurse. Okay, yeah. I was so afraid to say, I was going to say the dressmaker, but I didn't want to get like hate mail.
Oh, you're a misogynist. Men can make dresses too.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I make dresses on the side in case.
Yeah, you wear them in the back. I know.
You can't see me from the waist down, thank God. But I mean, yeah, I think understanding that it's literally like being face to face. It's literally, it's intimate, but there's convenience, there's accessibility. I do this in my classroom all the time. Yeah. I have virtual office hours when I teach my writing courses and my business writing courses. And it's a beautiful way to literally, they don't have to get dressed, shave, and drive all the way to my office. They can be sitting at Starbucks. They can be sitting in their bedroom, or I can sit in my, my Office Max here that I'm at right now. Oh, that's a joke. I mean, but it's convenient. It's convenient. It's accessible. It's intimate. Yeah. You can screen share. Become aware of the technology that's happening right now. Become aware. And it's not that advanced. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You just got to commit to doing, okay? Tim said earlier, take your time. I want to add to that, do it. Do it. Take your time, but execute. Be okay with making mistakes. Hey, let me spare you the suspense. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You can't be an entrepreneur. You can't innovate without making mistakes. It's going to happen. So video, live video, which webinars are, which conferencing is. I love it. It's
and think about this, because we kind of laughed when I said use the air conditioner guy as an example of doing this. My friend actually uses teleconferencing just like this to talk to clients who are out of state. He does a lot of commercial work here, and it may be the home office is in Des Moines or St. Louis or whatever, and Keith can very easily get online like this and do a teleseminar, or not a teleseminar, but a web conference, and talk to his customer and get that job sold.
Steve could actually do his motivational speech. He could do an entire presentation through a video. And by the way, there's a million video conferencing tools. Just to be clear.
We're using Zoom to do this. Zoom. There's also Be Live. There are any number, and any number of them, but a lot of them,
High Five.
Some of them can be quirky. This one seems relatively stable, though, Nez.
It's simple. And by the way, you said earlier you can be in another state. I mean, Alex Kahn was in Germany. He was in Germany. Wiesbaden in Germany. While I was in California, not in Brussels. He was the muscle from Brussels. That's what it was. But I mean, literally, and all you need is an Ethernet connection. I mean, I would say hardwired more than Wi-Fi, but all you need is a connection and a finger. Click that video button. Click that live button. Right.
Steve, we've got about 3 minutes left. How are you using? That's okay. How are you using teleconferencing in your business? Are you?
I am actually. I've been doing webinars for about the last 2 years. I do some of them live, and I do some of what is called evergreen webinars, which means they are kind of pre-canned, and I let everybody know I'm not live. Being authentic is a very important part of using video. Yeah. But I use that as a way to promote some of the programs I have, but to also educate people throughout. I don't like to use video as a sales pitch. I like to educate people, and it can work like a magnet. When you're out there, you're just sharing a message, and at the push of a button, you're talking to the entire world, potentially, because it's out there. So put a lot of thought into what you are going to do, what you're going to say, what sets you apart from the rest of the world, how you solve pain. And then, like Nez said, don't delay on it. Just go do it.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me recently how I got so comfortable on camera. Well, I shot over 400 uncomfortable videos. One of my favorite uses of video, and in the speaking world, I'm finding out from other speakers, they've never done this. I send personalized video, special videos to clients, even people who have just inquired about working together. Yeah. And they said, hey, we have a conference coming up in Boston. We heard about you. We want to bring you in for this. We want to know if you're a good fit. I get right here in the recording studio and I shoot a video saying, hey, this is Steve. I just wanted you to feel for my energy and this and that. One of the greatest comments I ever got was from an event I did not get booked for. They went in a different direction, wanted a different topic. Sent them a video saying, hey, thank you so much for the consideration. I really appreciate it. By the way, at the time my Red Sox were in last place. So while you're here in Boston, do me a favor, just cheer for the Red Sox. They called me up and said, that is the greatest message we ever got from somebody we didn't hire.
Yeah.
And he said, we're not going to forget you because we're going to remember you every time. So use video to your advantage. It is so powerful because it lets the world see and feel you in a moment, just like that.
I love that. And guys, we're about a minute out here. And I think the moral to this show really is develop, plan, do something. But really take advantage of everything that's out there. And the whole goal, at least in my opinion, of being a digital entrepreneur is finding new ways to reach your customer. and to touch your customer and to really get with them on a human level almost, rather than just having them come to a cold business-like website. They can see you. And Steve, I love that you send out just a video, just a, hey, how you doing? Nez can send out a video greeting to all of his students, warning them of what's to come. So, hey guys, we are, believe it or not, at the end of another show. Do not forget, we come to you every week. We may have to increase this to a couple of times a week, guys. I'm telling you, once a week just isn't enough. We'll discuss. But for right now, we do a new show every Friday at 12 noon Pacific time. We do live chats. We try to get on immediately after the show or throughout the weekend, as Nez likes to do, because he has no life. But and we also do live chats during the week. Professor Nez is our live stream guy. I'm the produced guy, and GAMLIN is just eye candy.
That's it. He's the handsome one of the bunch.
Exactly. All right, guys. Hey, click that subscribe button down there. Like us on Facebook. Look for everything we talked about in the show notes below. I am Tim Knox for Professor Nez and Steve GAMLIN. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.